And we are live. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and good day. This is Mainul going live from my business page, Mainul Digital. I hope wherever you are tuning in from, you're having a very blessed and lovely day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is in a series of interviews that I've been conducting in my business page. This is another episode of Road to Goals. Today I've got two special guests, and by this time I guess you know my co-host brother Amin. I'm having a new co-host today, Sister Tahmina. I have interviewed her before in my page. I've got Sister Rahima from Minneapolis. I think she's having some issues over there, but nevertheless, if this is the first time you're encountering me in the digital space, then please let me give some brief information about myself. I was born and raised in Bangladesh, where I'm currently located. But I studied in Germany and Australia as well. I'm a biologist by profession. I'm also a husband and digital business owner and mentor, and I help people learn how to leverage the social media. All right, I'll just put Sister Rahima. There you go. So she's back in the stream. So that's all about me. So without talking much further, I'd now like to transfer the mic to Brother Amin. Please, Brother Amin, take over. Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing really, really good. It's a bit overcast in Sydney, so it's past 2:30 p.m. now. So just after lunch, being weekend, there's a lot of other things that's happening. So great to be back, Brother Mainul. Thanks for inviting. Of course, today is special. We have two ladies joining us. Um, Sister Tamina all the way from Toronto, and then Sister Rahima from Minneapolis. So from an introduction perspective, my name is Amin Dole, originally from Sri Lanka. Migrated with my young family. My wife Xenia, son Aman, and Nuha is my daughter. So all four of us in our family. So we migrated 10 years ago to Australia. We both are accountants by profession. So the business is run by me and my wife Xenia. So happy to be here and part of this amazing global community of over 100,000 people. So one of the main things that we do in this interview is basically introduce our fellow business owners from all parts of the world and give them an opportunity also give an opportunity for people who follow us to meet our business community, meet our fellow business owners, and then provide some insight why they jumped into a business as ours, a global business as ours. How are they progressing? What changes had the business done to their life? How are they achieving their goals that they wanted to achieve? So without further ado, can I hand over to Sister Temina to give us a brief introduction? Who's Sister Temina?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I feel honored to be here today. It's really nice, and to imagine the way the world has become a global village. That we are sitting in 4 different parts of the world, and we're all connected virtually. So that's amazing, absolutely. So it's so nice to be here with all of you. And about myself, so I was actually born in India, and I've migrated to Canada 20 years ago. So I'm an immigrant. I'm a wife. I was thinking about that today. I said, I'm very proud to be an immigrant. I'm a wife. I am now I'm a digital business owner, a full-time digital business owner. But prior to that, professionally, I was actually working in banking for almost 9 years. And before I came across this amazing opportunity. And funny enough, I didn't know Brother Amin, but my son is also named Aman. I have a son named Aman and another son named Adnan. So I have two boys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm a full-time digital business owner now. And it's kind of like an oxymoron because in digital business, at least our business, we are not doing it full time. We're kind of doing it only part time. But this is my only, what should I say, my source of income now since January. So it's going to be a year this January that I've been a job quitter and I'm doing this business, as my only sole source of income. So yeah, that's pretty much about myself. And, now I'd like to learn a little bit about Sister Rahima as well.
All right, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me? I was out for a moment. Okay.
Yeah, we
So
can.
thank you so much for both of you for inviting us on here. I'm so honored, just like Sister Tamina said. So just like it shows on here, my name is Rahima. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota now, but I'm originally from Ethiopia. So I was born in Ethiopia. I came to Minneapolis, Minnesota about like 10 years ago. So I am a mom of two. I am also a wife, and I'm also full-time digital business owner. But before becoming a digital business owner, I was working as a customer service. So that's pretty much about me.
Okay, thank you so much, Sister Temna and Rahima, for your introduction. So, I mean, one thing that four of us have in common is that we come from we have done some job, or we are still doing a job, and then at the same time we've chosen to be part of a global business. We own our own business. We run the business as digital business owners. Some of us do it full time. Some of us do it part time. And I think one of the other features, I think Brother Minal also was in Australia for some time. So we have a migrant background as well. So that means we've migrated with our family, obviously looking for a better future for ourselves, mainly for our kids as well. So there's that's one of the biggest reasons why we kind of want to have a better life for ourselves and our kids. So people kind of choose to get into business due to various reasons, right? And some people also seem to think that, oh, while I do a full-time job, it's really, really hard for me to, own my own business and do something else. I mean, how would I do a business while I'm working 9 to 5? I'm full busy. I'm a mother. I have kids to look after. I'm a wife. I have all those, responsibilities at home. How would I run a business? If I ask that question from first from you, Sister Emina, um, what was your biggest reason of where you decided, okay, I want to do my own business and jump into an online business, and how is that helping you manage all the things that I mentioned? Because obviously you need a lot of time to manage your family and also work and then run the business as well. How is happening for you in that end?
So a little bit background about myself is I have actually tried my hand at other businesses in the past. I think it somehow runs in my blood, coming from my dad's side of the family, and I've always wanted to be my own boss, so to speak. So I have tried my hands at other businesses to do with like multi-level marketing and things like that, and I've also sold insurance in the past. I also do have a travel agency license, so I have that experience on that side, not just as a person who's doing a job. But for me, the reason I actually decided to get into the online space is because of what happened in 2020. And then I know a lot of people actually started looking towards that platform because of the way the world just kind of halted. I started working at home 2020 because of the pandemic and things, and I started looking into different options that were available out there, and which overwhelmed me completely. And I was very fortunate that I got introduced to this through a Facebook group back in June of 2020, and that's how my digital journey started. So I don't want to get into too much details of that, because you were basically asking what my reason was to get into the online space, and this was one of the reasons. Is because everything else was shutting down, and I was seeing that the online space was the only place where everything was booming. Amazon had record sales last year. Anything that was in the online market, really did well. Schools moved online. Doctors' visits became virtual. Like everything was basically moving online. So it made obvious sense to me to actually look in that arena. And I was very fortunate that this is the opportunity that fell into my lap. With regards to balancing business with or my work or my family life with this, digital platform that we have. When I started last year, for 6 months, I was working at the bank. So I was commuting, and I used to do this business for like 2 hours in the night. Initially, for the first month or so, that's when the consistent training is there, because you're learning something new. There's a bit of a learning curve, and you try to, like, I was working in the night. I would work a couple of hours in the night, and I always had my mentor to kind of go to if I ever got stuck. So that was the best part about it. Cut to now, when I am only doing this, I have so much more control over my time, right? Because I'm not answerable to a boss. I don't have to go out of the house. I don't have to log in at a certain time or log out at a certain time, because when I was working from home, although I was at home, I was still answerable to someone. which I am not anymore. I am able to plan my day much better because I have the freedom of time, right? Like I can, wake up early or I can wake up later. I don't have to drive. I'm able to manage my home responsibilities better because I'm not fixed to that Monday to Friday routine where my groceries only get done on a weekend. I have the freedom and the luxury of being able to do that during a week when there's less rush also in the stores. So those kind of things have really been an amazing bonus to working in the online space for me per se.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, and the good part of being your own boss is you can approve your own annual leave and
Totally.
vacation leave whenever you
Totally.
want.
One of my biggest pain points, and I say that in my interviews, that because of my job, the way it was on an hourly basis. So if I had to
Okay.
take time off for vacation or sick leave, I wouldn't get paid. So if you take time off, go on an amazing vacation, now you come back and you're stressed about paying the bills.
Yeah,
Or you're
absolutely.
sick and you still want to go to work because you don't get paid if you don't go to work. So yeah, totally. That
Okay.
is
Yeah. Thanks for that, Sister Tabina. Sister Rahima, what about you? What was your biggest reason, and how is this business helping you kind of manage that reason?
Thank you for asking that question. Actually, I like when, everyone has, different whys why they start this digital business, but most of us actually have a lot in common because especially most of us have kids. So for me, like I have little kids, so I have like under 5 years old. Both I have two kids, so both of them are under 5 years. So before 2020, actually, my kids used to go to daycare when I go to work. So like I would wake up at 5 a.m., get them ready, drop them off at 5:30, maybe go to my work at 6 a.m. So you can imagine, right, what that pain has been. So, but in 2020, when everything happened, even though I was working in a hospital, I was working in a customer service in a hospital. The hospital was not closed, so they didn't lay me off, fortunately. But some of people, they got laid off. That's why they started looking for the digital business. But for me, I have to work because it's like I have to, answer calls from the patients. So there was a lot of patients in the hospital, and my kids were going to the daycare. So I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to especially like at the beginning of 2020, everybody was panicking. So I was like, you know what, this is not gonna work for me and my kids. So even before that, I was looking for something that I can do so that way I don't have to like take my kids to daycare every single day. And pretty much what I was also getting from my workplace was going toward the daycare. So it was not even helping me at all. But I did not have a choice at that time. So I quit the job even before coming across about this digital business. So I quit the job and then I took my kids out of the daycare. I got home just to stay home with my kids. But I was not feeling good because, I do want to bring something to the table, especially since I actually turned 18, I was working. So I didn't like to like just stay home and just, watch my husband pay all the, bills. So I started looking for a job that I can do from home. Actually, I got a job that I can do from home in pandemic. It did not work for me with the little kids again because, they do make noises and my job is still customer service. So customer service has to
Okay.
do with, calling and all those things. So they didn't like it. They actually told me once, staying home, working from home is not a daycare, so you have to find a place to, leave your kids at so that way they're not gonna distract you. So I said, like, you know what, this is not working too, and I quit that job within 3 months of it starting. And after I quit that job, actually within the same week, I came across about this digital business, and my life has been changed since then. Actually, I came across about this digital business in December of 2020, so that was pretty much fresh start for me for 2021. Here I am now. I am in my digital business for almost a year. Like I only have about 2 left to, hit 1 year. And I, one of my first major milestone last week. So I'm so, happy to say that. So, like for in terms of managing, like for me actually, since I'm staying home, my kids go to school. So, pretty much the time that I work on my business is like when they are sleeping or when they're at the school because like I don't do that much. Just like Tamina said, yes, at the beginning, it does kind of need a time because you have to learn what you are doing. You have to first learn about your business before you even talk to people, right? You have to know your business first. So at the beginning, yes, it does take me about like 2 hours to go through the training and learn everything. But after that, now I just have to like sometimes help my teams whenever they need help. And that's it pretty much. Maybe like sometimes some days I don't even work on it, but at the end of the day we have these amazing automated system that work for us, and as long as you have already put in work, then the result will come in, so I don't even have to work that much. But pretty much I would say like maximum of 1 or 2 hours a day, not every day though, but I do spend that much on it, and I'm able to manage it because of bus free, just like we always say. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think 2020 is, I mean, 2020 was always going to be a landmark year because of the
Yeah.
numbers anyway, but no one expected it was going to be, so remarkable. I mean, pandemic, all right, it caused a lot of disruption, but in 2022 is also the year that people kind of realize you could do a lot of things from home, right? And of course, if you were doing a job, you need to, as Sister Rahima mentioned, you need to have your dedicated space. You need to, it to be silent. You need to have your own office room. But if you're doing your business, the kind of business that we are doing, all four of us are involved. We don't need that. I mean, I have managed. I've spoken to people while shopping and
Yeah.
while playing cricket, while at the grounds, and talking to my wife in the background, backyard rather. So we are able to run this business from virtually anywhere we can, even when we are holidaying or we are visiting our neighbors or relatives and things like that. So that's something 2020 has taught us, that working online is a possibility. There's a lot of things that you can do online. And also it taught us the traditional brick and mortar businesses that needs, the space, and you need to rent the space. You need to have all the equipment. That kind of model may not work all the time.
Yeah.
We understood that because our customers couldn't get to the place because of the lockdowns. And while all this were happening over the last 2 years, what basically happens, us business owners, we continued our business as usual. There was
Yeah.
no lockdown on the internet. What better place than the internet to be, right? What
Exactly.
are your thoughts, Brother Milo?
Yeah, I completely agree. As sisters explained it, I mean, I think there is no other better time than right now to move to the online space. I mean, not just about the pandemic. I believe that we are living at the most advanced era. I mean, everything is ruled by social media. Actually, the world is, in fact, I would say, ruled by social media. Everybody is there. Politics, I mean, sports, everybody is there, and they are dominating these spaces, even religion, faith. So I think I look at it as a futuristic skill, because social media is only going to go bigger from here. And
Mhm.
so if and any businesses, if, whether big brands, small business, or solopreneurs like us, if they don't move to the social media space, they're not going to survive. And this is where people are hanging out nowadays. So you always need to hang out where your prospects or clients are. So and that's was also one of my reasons to actually trying to learn this particular skill, regardless of whatever professional background I come from, and I guess all of you come from. Sister Termina, so the next sort of discussion that would be that obviously nowadays there are many other business models that is existing in the online space. People encounter many of those. So why would you say that you chose this particular model? Please enlighten our viewers.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, definitely. So when I turned my attention towards the online space last year, this was back in March of 2020, and that's when I realized that I'd heard about drop shipping, I'd heard about affiliate marketing, I knew about Spotify, so I'm like, okay, that's the way to go. Let's check that out. The thing is that the way anybody that's been on social media knows that once you look for anything or Google something, you actually get bombarded by a lot of information regarding the same thing. And I realized that there was too much information regarding drop shipping or Amazon, or selling on Amazon, and there were so many different courses that were available, the different prices that they had, different price tags each one had. But what was missing in all of those is, even if you put in some money on it, $2,000 or whatever, to get that course, you were still not getting a complete system. Meaning that you would get the training, but you would still have to source out your own products. You would have to figure out how you are going to bring that from multiple suppliers anywhere in the world. And again, you wouldn't know your product was really going to be a good selling item till you tested it. So there was a lot of trial and error. It was not a complete package in a system, so to speak, because you were still kind of it was drop shipping, so to speak, but you would still be in charge of making sure that the inventory was sitting in the warehouse, or if there were returns, you would have to worry about those returns, and all those things were there. And I just got very overwhelmed. I was working, and I was actually looking for something that was a little bit more plug and play kind of thing. So when I came across this business actually had everything that I wanted that was missing in the others. And one of the main key things I also liked was the fact that it also had a direct mentor and a coach that would guide you through step by step. So it was literally like a business in a box. And that's what I really loved about it, where not only were you getting the training, but you were also getting the right mix of products. You were getting a website made for you. You were getting an access to an automated email campaign, which, for us to set it up, it costs a lot of money on an ongoing basis, right? So all those things were already there for you. And as you were going through the process, you had somebody holding your hand step by step. So that's why it was a no-brainer for me when I came across this, because I was skeptical. It's not that I wasn't. And that's when I did my research, right? I compared to what I was getting with this versus what I had looked at before, and I had kind of given up on it. And the other thing I also learned with Amazon and stuff is that it was getting very saturated. I remember talking to one of my cousins in India, younger, and she is basically in the online space and marketing and all. And she told me, first thing, don't get into Amazon drop shipping. It's saturated. She said, get into something called drop servicing. And drop servicing was another complete different beast. So I was like, okay, none of this is for me. Let's walk back. And, then, Allah Ta'ala just brought this my way. And it's been in such a amazing life-changing opportunity. But coming to that, I'd like to ask you guys, especially Brother Amin as well. Do you feel that this business has changed your life in any way at all? And if it has, in what way has it changed your life?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, this business has changed. I mean, initially, you mentioned that you had kind of entrepreneurial things in your blood. We never had, and none of my brothers or my parents ever ran a business. Of course, my wife's side, they did run a small business, so it was totally new to me. And being brought up the traditional way, studying and getting that degree or whatever qualification and being an accountant, I was like very settled in that life, 9 to 5 life, until we came to Australia. I mean, as new migrants, all of us know it's so hard for new migrants, right? You start up doing the job that you never sought any qualification, and you're all overqualified for some job. Somehow you do it and you establish it, and then eventually you find a job that suits your qualification, and then you pay the rents and everything, and somehow you want to build a house, and live a decent life. That's when it clicks. This is not going to be the life that you wanted. I mean, you end up working 9 to 5 until you're 60, and over here in Australia, the retirement age is 67. So I mean, suppose if I had to work until then, and then when do I have time to enjoy life and do the things I want to do? So that's one of the reasons why I jump into the business as well. So this has changed the sense. From a life perspective, I'm more kind of positive. I feel very positive in this. Have I lost you guys? Are you guys live there, Brother Milo?
Yeah.
You're there. You're there, Brother Amin. We can hear you.
My screen is frozen. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're there.
We can see you, but I don't know whether what's happening on your end. I think we can see you. We can see you moving your head and everything. So on your end, I don't if it is.
Okay. Okay. I think we are back. So basically, the business has changed the whole outlook to our life, because it's so positive. And Zenia and I, we know we have started something that could potentially help us retire early, inshallah, and also something that brings an additional income to us, so that it makes life easier and better. And then we also can potentially transfer the business to our kids as one of our gifts to them, and they can take it forward from wherever we live, and then we start enjoying that early retirement, and do the things that we love to do. And then Zina and I have planned, inshallah, to do some travels as well, so we can do that. I mean, the business has changed from an outlook perspective, very positive. You wake up every morning knowing that you have an option already there for you, other than your 9 to 5 job. That's how I think it. And Sister Davina mentioned a really good phase. I really like that. You said it's kind of this business in a box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has everything, because a lot of people, when they think of starting a business, they are obviously scared, saying that I don't know anything. How do I start? What do I need to do? What software do I need? How do I take care of my email marketing system? How do I do all those things?
Yeah.
So this opportunity with our global community comes in. Everything's done for us. Most of the things, vast majority of the things done for us, and of course we need to learn how to do it, and things like that. Getting back to Sister Rahima, you mentioned that you never had done a business before, did you?
No, I don't have any business background whatsoever. But
Yeah.
like when I was, looking for work from home job, actually, I did came across about the travel agency actually. I took the certificate. So once I took the certificate, it say like whether you have clients or not, you have to pay like $60 monthly or whatever. I was like, no, like during the pandemic there was no people were not traveling, so I was like, no, this is not gonna work for me. So I refund my money and then I just stopped it. And for this business, actually, like the fact that we don't even have to pay anything monthly is also one of the things that attract me to this business. And even though like I did not have any business background, but I know that like if you have other businesses, like if you have Amazon, there is a course that you have to take. Or if you have, some of those things that you have to do, like inventory, like some of the businesses that you have to do shipping and all those things. I know that I'm not good at that, even though I do have, customer service background, but I know that for sure if I have traditional business, then I have to be there. And I'm pretty busy with my little one, so I know that it's not gonna work for me. And I also need to have, customers, right? In order for you to succeed in your business, you have to have customers. And if you open the shop, like actual shop, then you have to, know how to, talk about your business to other people, and that will take a lot of time to get the customers, and that will take a lot of time to succeed, like to see the success. So but when I see this business, I saw all the potential, and the fact that actually this business is something that will, is long term, something that can potentially, transfer to your children, is actually one of the things that I look up to. Because even if I don't see the result that I want within whatever, couple years or 5 years, but I know this business is gonna stay forever. It's something that will, I can pass out to my children, because I don't want to work until 65, and I don't want them to work until 65. Even though I did go to school, like, while raising my kids, going and, work, and I also like took some classes online. I graduated from college actually in May. My main goal was like, after I graduate, I'm gonna get a job with my degree. But I did not look for a job, even though I got the degree, but I did not look for a job, because I know this business will work for me. I know that I'm gonna get to somewhere with this business, and I know that whatever job that I get, no matter what, profession it is, like whether any job, like, you're still gonna have that boss that will tell you when to come and what to do, what to wear, and all those things. So I didn't want to deal with that. So I say, you know what, this business is just like just like Sister Tamina said, this is a package. So I signed up for it, and then within, actually, I became a business owner within the same week of, becoming within the same week of watching the free webinar. Yeah.
Okay. So that
Yeah.
goes to show, that's a classic example. I mean, I think Brother Rahima, sorry, Sister Rahima and myself, never done businesses
Yeah.
before, didn't know what to do, but we were able to start our business from scratch, thanks to
Right.
the global community, the coaches, the direct mentors. We had access to the direct mentor and coach most of the time. If they were not available for various reasons, we had a bigger community to reach out. We had smaller groups to reach out who would help us. I mean, And we have one of the most comprehensive dedicated training websites where
Yeah.
the instructions are like carefully done video instructions. Anyone who can hear stuff, who can follow step by step, can do the setup without much effort. That's the beauty of this business. Most of it is really done. And Sister Tevina also mentioned quickly few things people are really scared these days: dropship, inventory, returns, and things like that. In our business, we don't do drop shipping. There's no transport. We don't have to fill our garages with inventory, right? We don't call people. We don't hassle our friends and family, and there's no high tech involved. I mean, I can go on and on with the list, and we don't even have to hold parties at home and give away samples to people. We don't do all that, right? But it's an amazing business model. That's why we kind of invite people to come and watch our free webinar. We do it worldwide twice a week. So I invite Brother Minor to share that information with the rest of the people who are watching us today about our webinar and how people can connect with us.
Yeah, thanks, Sister Tahmina, Sister Rahima, and Brother Amin. I think I'll just wrap it up. From my side, I'll just add a bit more. In this particular business model, we just don't teach you how to become an online entrepreneur. We also teach you how to develop your personal trait to become sort of a leader. We have got plenty of leaders here. So there is a positive mindset and grateful mindset that has been developed, and I believe it helps not just in your online activities, rather in your offline activities as well. So I'll just, if you want something more in your life, if you want change in your life, then you have to take action. Unless without taking action, your dreams would remain just dreams. So we all took actions. We all watched a free webinar that educated us about how these online business functions. I'll just put the links there. It goes there. Yeah, right, excellent. So the first step of this business is to watch a free webinar that takes place at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is 12 p.m. AEST on Wednesdays and Fridays. Please Google your time zone. Please register for the webinar. After watching the webinar, whether you watch the live one or the replay, we also do have a replay so that busy professionals, they can watch it at their own time. And after watching it, do your due diligence, do your research like we did, and then write down your questions, and then you could just get back to us. You could register any of these websites or sales funnels, what do you call it, and then you could just get back to us by email or and that's usually would be the most common form of contact. So that is where I'm going to leave for today. I think Sister Rahima, it's already night there. It's again, I thank you very much, and it was actually the main idea of doing this particular show was to show the people that we are from different parts of the world and we are interacting, and it is as real as it is. We are all real people, and we are doing a business that is globally reputable, and it is the best and largest online business community. Viewers, thank you very much for watching, and wherever you are, stay safe and stay blessed. Goodbye, and see you next week.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.